I'm Felix Haller, a former manager at Bain & Company, and in this video we're going to talk about the number one complaint about business presentation slides and what you can do about it. Now, what is the biggest complaint from clients, colleagues, managers? You might think it's something along the lines of an unclear storyline, not enough data, bad charts, typos, slide design. But it's actually cluttered slides and too much information is the number one complaint that people have about presentation slides. The biggest issue with cluttered slides is that it overwhelms the audience. When you look at a slide like this, you join a meeting, somebody puts a slide like this in front of you, it's quite overwhelming. There's two different charts here, 3 sections on the left-hand side, takeaways on the right-hand side, there's an action title at the top. It's really overwhelming. And number two, it makes it hard to digest to understand the main points. And lastly, it makes a slide feel dry and boring. And there's a few reasons why lots of slides are cluttered and have too much information. I think the biggest one is there's a lack of clear thinking. Quite often the slide creation process works like this. Somebody says, hey, can you create a slide about the survey results? And somebody puts a few charts on a slide, sends it to the manager, and then they provide some feedback saying something, hey, can you add another table? Can you add this stat on it? And add some insights on the side. In the end, nobody really knows what the slide is about anymore. It's just a collection of pieces of information without clear thinking. And so it's really important from time to time to step back and think about what is actually the message of the slide? What are we trying to portray here? And the second point is to appear knowledgeable. I see this a lot where people, especially with data, they tend to put all the different types of KPIs and metrics on a slide just in case. They want to make sure that they have all the different types of data and data points and KPIs that somebody might ask for, that it is on a slide so they can reference it. And the last point is that sometimes there's the sense that you can only present 5 slides or only 10 slides. There's a fixed amount of slides or time per slide for a presentation. So obviously if somebody says for the next presentation, we can only bring 5 slides, you probably don't want to spread your information out over too many slides because of that limit. Now, what can we do about it? Number one, always making sure there's only one message per slide and then putting the message of that slide in the title. So here on this slide, it's a Coca-Cola slide, which I think is a good example of having one message per slide. The message here is we are competing in a great industry, full stop. They're not talking about all the things they're doing, all the new products they've launched, the operational efficiencies, M&A. They're just talking about we're competing in a great industry. But externally, the industry is an interesting one. And they have 3 data points here. The first one, large compelling opportunity, 1.6 trillion. The growth is strong here in the middle. And then lastly, diversified. And I think there's about something about pricing power. But it's really focused on the industry, which I think is a strong slide overall, one message per slide. And the other tactic to avoid cluttered and slides with too much information is to spread your messages across multiple pages. Here on this slide, you can see a very high level storyline of saying we've identified improvement in 3 areas, 1, 2, 3. The next slide is a double click on the first point. The next slide, double click on the second, and then the third one. Then the slide 5 here is the financial impact, shown as a waterfall. And then the last slide is the project plan. And sometimes you see slides or presentations where these types of information are condensed on one page. It has all the improvement areas, it has detail on it, it has financials, it has a project plan, and that's obviously too much. As I talked about, number one, you want to make sure you have one message per slide, and if the message is very complex and complicated, you want to spread it across multiple slides. Now I want to do a very quick live example of a cluttered slide and what you can do about it to make it less cluttered. On this slide, you see on the left-hand side, executive summary type bullets that sell that company, that are highlighting all the positive developments and competitive advantages that that company has, Harsco. On the top right, they added a table of services and products portfolio, and then at the bottom, financial progress from transformation, so financial results. This is not a terrible slide. Probably as an executive summary, you could argue this is fine, but it has a lot of information. And so what we can do here is, number one, what's the message of this slide? And then spreading the content across multiple slides. And what I would probably do here is this left side here. This is either we say something about like a slide on recent performance highlights, or it's probably more strong competitive position. And then this one would be a slide about strong services and products portfolio. You probably want to be a bit more precise about the message. We have a diversified service and product portfolio. And then lastly, we are making strong financial results. The simplest way would simply breaking this out onto 3 pages. This is a bit unique here on the left-hand side. This is almost an executive summary. So what you could also do is have an executive summary page. That's what I would probably do, is put these bullets on an executive summary really large. Then you can present the executive summary first, and then the double click is on these are all the products and services that we currently offer. And then this is a focus on financial results, strong financial results. Transformation is progressing well, because it seems like they're saying something about a transformation here. And then probably maybe a third slide or fourth slide about customers, long-term customer relationships, and positive customer experience. I think this is probably nice because then you have a more holistic view of the company. And even on the executive summary here, you can see that they're talking a bit about contracts, renewal rates. I think that's probably the double click on those points. Leading technologies, products, and then transformation initiatives, improved return profile. It's probably mostly their financial progress down here. So this is one way of breaking it out. Obviously, there's multiple ways depending on the messages you want to convey and how you want to structure this topic. Quick lessons learned. The biggest complaint is that slides are too busy. And what you want to do is make sure that you have only one message per slide. If you have more messages that you want to convey, try to spreading them across multiple pages, because the more information you put on a slide, the less likely the audience will remember it.